Good afternoon, and this is another episode of Kitchen Talk. I am a co-host or the host, the co-host, the hostess with the mostest.
I knew you were going to go there with it. Oh my God. We're both
I'm-
kind of giggly today. This is
Yeah, I know.
weird
What is
one.
our
I don't know.
deal?
I don't know. We were sitting there waiting. We just kept laughing.
We just
It's
kept
like, oh my
laughing.
God. Sometimes we're like,
So
5
who are
years
you?
old.
Who do you represent?
I'm Donna Mitchell with Guaranteed
Besides
Rate
the Oompa
Mortgage.
Loompas.
I knew you were going to go there because we were doing that. We represent
The Lollipop King,
I
the
know,
Lollipop
I know.
King. We're so messed up.
We're kind of silly sometimes. I'm Donna Mitchell with Guaranteed Rate Mortgage, one of the top 5 lenders in the nation. Love to help you out with any of your mortgage
Top
needs.
5? I thought
Yeah.
you were like number 1 or 2.
We're legit.
Too legit to quit.
We are legit.
And if you're from Gen X, you know what that means.
Oh my gosh.
All the millennials are like, these
Uh,
old people are weird. Actually, what's younger than millennial right now? What is that?
I don't know.
Z?
Everyone younger than us.
Everybody younger than that, which is everybody. So,
Ouch.
you went to Chamber today,
I
Chamber
did.
of
I was like
Commerce.
flying in the door because I
Tell me
had
what
the
y'all
Chamber
did.
of Commerce luncheon today. So you and I are both like really committed to being strong, represented in our communities
Yep.
and being community oriented. This is one of my favorite chamber luncheons of this year. We were acknowledging our first responders, which was pretty awesome. So we had the fire departments and police departments in the area that each had nominated and recognized one of their superstars, somebody that really stood out in
Well,
the
that's
year.
cool.
Yeah, with some great stories of, all first responders are heroes and they're doing amazing jobs. But to hear the top of the top that really went out of their way to do something special or just really committed to helping community or
Do you have an
special
example?
situation. It was kind of fun because most of the people that were up there, it wasn't just like one act of something.
Yeah.
It was just a general, this is the person they are. We appreciate them.
Mhm.
They're like it was the one that stood out to me the most. His commanding officer was like, he just can't say no, and we love him for it, right? Like,
Okay.
and I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, if there's somebody that's in need or whatever, like I have trouble saying no, so I could relate to him.
Yeah.
But it's like everything they, just like, hey, we need somebody to do this. I'll take it.
Mhm.
Who can help out with this? Who wants to help with the kids? Who wants to do this in school? Who's gonna, like, he goes to the schools and teaches them safety, and it was just like he's just a volunteer
Mhm.
kind of person and just has a good heart and just wants to be involved and wants to help people at all levels, and it was like story after story like that, so it was pretty
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did they hand out like some sort of
They had like a certificate
yeah,
and award
okay.
for each one of them that was presented to them by their commanding officer, and it was pretty cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. It's not an easy job to do.
Yeah.
It is not an easy job to do, and when it's in their heart
Mhm.
and they love what they do and they're passionate, that was the word that stood
Yeah.
out to me the most. Passion, right? These people had a passion for helping others and serving their community,
Mhm.
and I love that they were getting awards for it. Like, just being recognized was awesome.
Yeah, I think it goes a really long way to recognize people, and it doesn't matter age or profession, and if you kind of set your heart to it, right? Because it's a heart thing more than a mind thing.
It is.
If you set your heart to it, it's not hard to recognize, well, virtually anyone in your life that you're close to for something that they have done for you or for others or other accomplishments. You just have to decide that that's what you want to do. Here's an example. And I do this sort of thing, and I know you do this sort of thing.
What is it?
But it's not something like everybody knows. I post on social media like crazy because I know it's shameless self-promotion, but that's what I do.
It's all good.
But what people miss is there's a lot of stuff going on in my life and your life and everybody's lives that we don't post on Facebook. And here's an example.
I don't put my charity stuff out there. Like, that's more private for me. Like, So
It
for
is
most of
actually, it
those-
is really private for
Yeah,
you.
unless-
But I know how much
Yeah,
you're
unless
involved
it's
with
like
it.
an event where somebody is, truly taking pictures and they're putting it out there and tagging you.
Mhm.
Just like the day-to-day behind the scenes stuff of helping foster parents or dropping something off or just making phone calls and making things happen. Like I keep all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. I keep it right here. Where it needs to
So I got
Yeah.
my oil changed up
Good.
at Valvoline,
be. Yeah.
where I have been going for years because I love that they keep all of my records, because I'm very
Makes it easy at tax time.
well that too,
Yeah.
but also I like that they have an app, and there's just lots of things I like about that. But I
Sure.
kind of like, convenience is a big part.
Right.
I personally think that they're high on price, but
They have Groupons all the time.
and I do use a coupon
Yeah.
every time I go there that usually saves
Right.
me $10. Anyways, here's where I'm going with this. So I pull in, and they need the lock lug nut for my one of my wheels
Okay.
because I'm doing a tire rotation. And
I remember my other Jeep having that.
yeah,
I literally kept it in the car because I was afraid to not have it on me if I ever needed it. Yeah.
but I did my oil change, drove away, and later that day, the manager, his name's Mike,
They still had it.
called me and said, "Hey, we forgot to give you back your lug nut." And the first thing in my mind was, "Ugh, now I have to drive." So now the place that I choose, because of convenience, has now just become quite the opposite. However,
Yeah.
the second thought in my mind was, you know what? I can think of other places. In fact, I could practically think of pretty much any other place that I could go to get an oil change, and whoever that mechanic was would have just dropped that in a trash can and looked around as if,
Yeah.
and then I would have ended up being at some other or back there to get my tires rotated, and they would have asked for it, and I would have been like, "Well, you guys did it last time. I guess you never get it." You see what I'm saying?
Right. No, I know exactly
And
what you're saying. Yeah. You
So
appreciate
that
they did
manager, his name's Mike. And by the way, I should mention, Mike drives from St. Genevieve like every day to go and manage this Valvoline place. So here's where I'm going with this. The next day, I made it up there,
Mhm.
and I thought, you know what? I have never once had a bad experience at this place. And there's a Schnucks right behind. And
So you went and got him flowers.
oh, no, Donna.
What did you get him?
But I did. I not only got them a dozen donuts,
Nice.
which was $1 a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, this is not a huge investment, but I got them the good donuts with all the custard and jelly filled. None of that glazed crap. I got the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I took it in there, and he knew who I was immediately as I walked in, and walked into his office and brought it out. And I said, "Hey, this is for you and your guys. The world is perceived as being a total dumpster fire right now, and you guys work out here in this morbid heat all day, and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to make sure that you guys know that somebody here says thank you."
So here's something funny. I'm
Isn't
a
that cool?
runner. Yeah.
Everybody should do that. You should do that for
I did-
somebody
I
once a
did
month.
that.
Yeah, once a
Here's-
week, once a month.
Here's
What'd
what's
you do?
funny is we don't practice these things. We just start talking when we get here.
Yeah.
So this is so funny. So I run at Grants Trail all the time,
Yes.
right? Well, I park next to that Nuremberg lumber. And there's
Yes.
that. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
right. That's where I park to take off for my run. Well, anyway, it's been super packed lately. Because you got to run so early in the morning, so everybody's getting there really early in the morning to go for the run before the heat gets bad.
Right.
So anyway, I get there and there's no parking left, and the guy on the other side was like, "You can park over here," and I was like, "Oh, are you sure?" Because they're in the past, they've been
The lumber place.
yeah, sometimes they're don't park over here. This is our business. I'm like, I
Mhm.
get it, but no, he was totally like, "You can park over here," and I was like, "Thank you, that saves me from
That was nice.
yeah." I just wanted to kind of get in, get my run in and out and stuff. So I went to Krispy Kreme, and that's not close, right? I went out of my way.
What day was it?
No,
Mine
like
was
a week and a half
Saturday.
ago.
Okay, mine
That
was
like a
last
week and a half
Saturday.
ago. But I literally left there in Afton, went to the South County Krispy Kreme, grabbed a dozen donuts, came back, and gave it to them like as a thank you to just say, hey, I appreciate you going out of your way. Like you made it convenient for me. So I made it a little inconvenient for me to go get you donuts and say thank you.
Yeah.
Because we're both like, I feel like people
You and I are
appreciate-
so alike.
Isn't that so funny that we
I
did
do.
that?
I
Yeah.
love that about us. I love that about us because we're
Like we
both
totally
so
did
much
like
like
the
that.
same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we
I
both
want-
got donuts. That's even funnier.
That is funny. When you started saying that, I was like, oh my God, I did the same thing.
That's awesome. Well, high five.
Right.
That's great.
Appreciate your
So,
service people.
I
Just
would
as a
say, and again, like you said, we don't plan these little TV talk show, radio show, whatever we call this thing.
Live.
These are live. So
Yeah.
if you listen, I don't do it to make me feel better. I do it because I genuinely feel a pull, a tug on my heart to make sure that people, and it's not always something professional, and it's not always something I'll do where I could even receive recognition. Like I'm the type of guy that will buy your Starbucks
Yeah.
because I'm in the line ahead of you.
With the play, like what I did, they don't know me. It's
Yeah.
so anonymous. It was
Yeah.
like, other than like that 5 seconds that I was there to hand it to them, I just wanted to make their day better.
Yeah.
Right? It had nothing to do with me. They don't know who I am. I'm not a customer. They'll never see me again. They wouldn't recognize me if I was
Yep.
pulling my car in again. I just wanted to make somebody feel good for helping me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the byproducts, it's undeniable, which is good for your health, your wealth, your immune system. It's good for your day.
It's good for your soul.
It's so good for your soul. Is when you treat someone else not only the way you want to be treated, which is the golden rule. I like the platinum rule,
Yeah.
which is to treat other people how they want to be treated.
Yeah.
Not just how you want to be treated, because how I want to be treated may not be the same as somebody else.
Yeah. We're
We're
not always the same.
Yeah, we're not always the same that
Yeah.
way. But one thing I do know, especially in St. Louis,
Yeah.
if you give somebody food or beer, you have made a new friend.
So
and they appreciate it.
But okay, so to that, this is kind of funny, like know your audience, because I don't drink at all. And it is kind of funny how many times I'll get like a bottle of wine as a gift. And of course, I graciously say thank you. And I love that they thought of me at all.
Well, that's
and
what
then
you
I
got
just
me
give
for.
it to somebody else who likes wine, right? Or drinks wine.
I'll drink your bottle of wine.
Yeah. So
Happily.
there you go. There you go.
All right. So
Yes.
your challenge, our fans and audience or whoever's watching this week,
Do something nice.
just do something. Look, make it simple. Do something for your kid. Do something for your spouse or significant other. Do something for your parent.
Yeah.
Something unexpected.
Or do something and do something for a stranger.
And do something for a stranger. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that feels good. I think I need a hug now. Oh. Okay. Now I have a good time.
All right.
So next topic. Listen, the economy is quirky right now.
You think?
But we're
Yeah.
just gonna listen.
It's a time of change.
What we've had for 2 years, that's not the norm.
No, that's that's the crazy part is that was so
Even without
crazy
COVID.
not normal, but it became the normal.
Yeah.
So now when we're actually getting to more normal
Yeah.
situations, it feels not normal.
Right.
Because we've been like in
Yeah.
that for so long. That's true.
And you know, it's
Yeah.
funny. I was having a conversation with a fellow businessman, like a 40-year business owner, and he said, you know, people are going to get all consumer confidence and blah blah blah, but people don't realize that those same people that are freaking out over a 6% interest rate on a home don't realize, and this guy was a 40-year business owner, don't realize that when I bought a house in Houston, Texas, back in the 60s or whatever it was, you know, the interest rate was 8.5%. And later on in the 80s, it was 18%. And then he went on to say, and this one really struck a chord with me, is a lot. And look, this might hurt a little bit to some people, but
Be nice.
but this, I'll be nice. I'll be gentle. but it's a valid point. Like there's so many people out there that are worried about the difference of, 2%, 4% versus 6%, or 5 versus 7, right? 3 years ago, 2 years ago versus now.
Right.
But those same people are carrying 10, 15, 30, $50,000 balances on a credit card
Paying
where
like
half the payment
18%.
is interest.
That's true.
They're paying 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe even $1,000 a month of interest.
Yeah.
Well,
I see it all the time. 'Cause
I know,
look at
pay
people's
that
credit.
off.
Yeah. And
or
I'm like,
really
don't-
pay
don't
it
put all of
down.
this towards the house. Let's pay off these
And
other
then
credit cards and stuff. Yeah.
That 6% interest rate or whatever you qualify to buy a home, it's really not that big of a deal. It's kind of a wash. And that smart guy, and really helped put some perspective on things. So anyways, we kind of got sidetracked there, as I tend to do.
Speaking of buying and selling houses.
Speaking of buying and selling houses.
How's your stuff coming? Because you're
Good.
moving. Like,
Oh.
ready? I know, right?
So
I know everybody loves to buy the new house. Everybody hates
Yeah.
to move. Like, how's it going?
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
I am selling the home I'm living in and moving to a new home.
Mhm.
And I will say this,
Yes.
and let me really be vulnerable here. The last 2 times that I have changed addresses,
Yes.
I have had either help of a spouse or my parents.
I helped you move too.
Well, that too.
Okay.
But the point is that I was either not or very little involved.
Yeah.
Whereas this time,
It's all on you. It is kind of all on you.
I mean, I'm going to have some help from
I
the
know.
parents, good old mom and
The
dad,
kids.
and,
Yeah.
paying my son and all of his buddies. And,
Yeah.
but I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
Leading up to when I put the house on the market.
Yeah.
56 total hours doing 2 things.
Okay. Selling stuff.
Getting rid of stuff
Yeah,
that I
or getting
never,
rid
that
of
I should have
things in
gotten
general.
rid of 2 moves ago, which includes just organizing, right, to make the
You
house
always love that
presentable.
moment when you go to move something and you're like, I've moved this 3 times and I haven't used it in between. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, but I'll move it again.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
second thing was cleaning.
Yeah.
Like
I like to clean, so my house is always clean. You know me.
I don't. Yeah. Well, your house is pretty much like, it's like a dollhouse. Everything is absolutely perfect. Everything's right where in the right place. It's clean. And my house is pretty good as far as like single dude goes.
Yeah. Your house is actually pretty clean in general.
Yeah.
It's straightened. It might not be like scrubbed clean, but it's straight. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't like to scrub.
Yeah, you're not
I'm more of like a run through the water hose naked kid.
nice.
Yeah, that's how I bathe.
Oh my goodness.
It's going downhill now. So the learning lesson there is, and
I
the
think
thing.
this is one of my 53-year-old hot flashes.
Oh no!
I know. We turned the air
Quick, get the
conditioner
fire
off.
extinguisher. Donna's having a hot flash.
It's so true. I'm like sweating here. And I'm like, everybody can see it, can't they? Can't they?
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh! We need to get you a cooler to stand in.
Like we said last time, we turned the air conditioner off because it's so loud.
Yeah,
But like, dude.
I have that effect on people.
Wow.
Baby.
Wow. Don't you though? Nice. You're no sweaty over here. Okay. Sorry.
We'll
It's-
talk about digress.
we talk about
But-
real life
Yeah.
situations.
How did we get anything done?
I don't
even
know. I don't know.
But
Moving-
the
moving
thing I
heavy,
learned was, whether I have or we have a client that's, 900 square foot, or, we've had several clients, well, like that one house that
Yeah.
the $1 million house that's like 8,000 square feet. I'm going to tell you, cleaning, organizing, and deleting 56 hours.
Yeah.
And my house was already clean and organized. This was like the extra step. But I will say this, it paid off. I sold my house in
It presents better.
the weekend that I listed it.
Yeah.
And I sold it for more than list price. I was hoping to sell it for more than I did. But That's
Says
okay.
every seller ever, but that's
True
okay.
that.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah.
So I will say, speaking as a realtor to my clients in the past and in the future, boy, I have a very much higher appreciation for this process,
Yeah.
even though I've done it, over 1,000 times with clients over, the tenure of my career.
Yeah. One thing,
A lot of work.
I will say this: when we were, because I moved about 1.5 years ago myself.
Yep.
And it was interesting because I'm packing everything up, and I'm like I am in my wheelhouse when I'm doing that, because I'm so I'm an organizer, right? So I'm all like, all this stuff goes here and blah blah blah, and I'm like packing everything up. And every time I would walk by my daughter, so I'm doing the entire house, and my daughter's doing her room. Do you remember this story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I am doing the entire house.
I do remember.
And my daughter's doing her one room, and I'd walk by, and she's got all these things laid out, like her clothes laid out, and I'm just like, put it in a box. Let's go. I'd come by an hour later, and she's got other things laid out, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And she's like going through every little thing, and she's deciding what she's going to keep and what she's going to take. And I'm like, Courtney, just put it in a box and let's go. This doesn't make any sense. And she's like, well, I've already made like $700 selling her used clothes on these buy-sell websites. And I was like, you take your time, sweetie. I mean, she was almost like, she was selling all this stuff resale.
I've done that.
And yeah, I could, and I mean, I don't do garage sales. I was like, I'm sorry, you made how much money? And you know what? She's selling her Lulu stuff that I bought her. So not only is she making extra money,
Lululemon. Now
right,
that explains
it's like stuff that I bought her dad bought her, and now she's cashing out on it, which is smart.
That's such
my
a
daughter.
that's such a
You know
kid thing
her.
to do.
Yeah. But
she's pretty entrepreneurial.
She very much is.
Yeah.
So because in all honesty, I'm kind of donate it, just donate it, throw it away. I've got my piles. But I will say she made some pretty darn good money by taking her time and going to some of the resale shops and that. So don't take that lightly. There are some opportunities to really sell your stuff out there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty darn easy.
So
I'm going to put that out there because we do have a lot of people that are buying and selling.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of bypassed that piece myself.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw her go through that process, she made some pretty good money on it. It was worth her time and effort.
Yeah.
So don't discount that.
I have sold some stuff. In fact, my huge leather sectional that's 16 feet long on one side, or whatever it was. I don't remember. Really long.
Yeah.
I sold it last night.
Oh, so now you need a new couch.
Well, I'm going to use the couch that's in the loft.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that'll become our, because
that
that's
was
a little
smaller.
more.
That'll fit better in your house. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I'm downsizing.
You are downsizing.
I'm going to get little. I'm going to get super tiny, Donna tiny.
I'm trying to get tiny.
Hey, let's talk about the 4th. Because that's coming up.
So it always creeps
What
up
is
on
it?
me. I don't know.
2 weeks.
Today's the
2 weeks.
21st or something. So
It's
they started
it's on a
selling
Monday,
fireworks
right?
yesterday. I don't know.
Yeah, it's on a Monday.
I don't know. They started selling fireworks yesterday, so I saw the stands coming up. And we live in Jefferson County, so you're already hearing it everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Are you a firecracker buyer person?
I'm going to share this with you, okay?
I should know this, but
this is a
I don't think I've ever seen you buy fireworks.
I have never in my entire life lit a firework. Ever. My parents taught me.
Get out.
No,
You're not even American.
My parents taught me to fear fire, and I've never lit a firework. I barely light candles. I like those
we
long
need to
things
fix that.
to light candles. I'll light candles, but I've never lit a firework. No joke.
We should have a Roman candle war.
No.
With Roman candles and bottle rockets like we did.
That's so in my wheelhouse.
Where I still have little burn scars on my body from when I was a kid.
Isn't that funny?
Because we were idiots.
I've never lit a firework and I've never mowed grass. Those are and it's not like I'm lazy, but
Are you the Queen of England? Who are you?
I'm
Anne, are you hearing this?
A diva. I'm not a diva kind of person, but I've never done those two things ever.
Listen,
Isn't that funny?
I'm going to tell you something, Donna
Yeah.
Mitchell.
I've never owned a lawnmower. I've always had
I've always
had a boyfriend or a service that cut my grass. I know.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When somebody says, I do this or I don't do that, that whatever that one thing is does not stand alone, because anyone who has never pushed a lawnmower by reasonable academic deduction, one can also assume about 100 other things you've never done.
Like what? Let's test this.
Okay, let's test it.
All right.
Have you ever run a weed eater?
Well, no, that's
Okay.
in the same realm.
Have you ever used electric or gas-powered hedge trimmers?
Nope.
Have you ever climbed a tree?
Yes. I was super tomboyish, remember? I've climbed
Did you-
everything. I love
You're short. You have to climb everything. People don't know you're standing on a
I'm gonna
5-gallon bucket now.
I'm gonna tell a funny story. We get so sidetracked with stories.
That's all right. Tell
All
me.
right, okay. So when my daughter was playing softball, like way back when, right?
Yeah.
She was playing softball. We were out of the Kirkwood fields. I'll make it fast. So anyway, like behind the
I've played softball there. I know exactly what you're talking about.
okay, so they always have the tall fences that go up
Yes.
behind where the batter is, right?
Yes.
So it goes up and then it like goes over the top to
Right.
like catch balls, right?
Right.
So anyway, one of the balls gets stuck in the crease
Oh,
there,
Lord.
right? So the coaches are out there and they're throwing a ball, trying to knock it down with another ball. And Courtney's dad was one of the coaches.
Spider-Man.
So he's
Spider-Man.
you remember my story.
Donna is a
So he's
little
throwing the ball up
Spider-Man.
there, and I'm like, I'll get it for you. And he's just like, if I can't hit this ball with that ball, you are definitely not hitting. I was like, nope. I kicked off my shoes, climbed up that fence, popped down that ball, climbed back down like I was like the superstar of the world. And
Oh
everybody's
my
clapping,
gosh.
and they're all singing like Spider-Man. Everybody called me Spider-Man that whole year. Like it was
Like
so
a little
funny.
spider monkey. When you
See?
get down, did you go?
So you were wrong. I'm like a climber. I climb
Okay,
trees,
so you
I'll climb fences.
climbed one
I
tree.
climbed mountains. I climbed a 14,000-foot mountain in Colorado.
Like with whoops and carabiners?
I didn't
Or
say I
hiking.
rappelled.
Oh, okay.
I hiked it. I climbed a mountain. Yes.
Well, anyways, you see what I'm saying. For a person who's never cut grass or
Yes.
lit, how can you even call yourself an American?
My family did not do
You do
fireworks.
realize 4th of July is independence, right?
ouch. My family never did
I
fireworks.
wasn't trying to hurt you.
I honestly question.
Fireworks.
I wouldn't be surprised if neither of my sisters have ever lit a firework either.
So
just didn't do
if
that
I
as
get
kids.
like a cane pole that's like 12 foot long and I light a match on the end of it for you and help you lower it down to one bobcat, will you
No,
light it?
No.
If
I'm
I
gonna ask
duct
my
tape you to a
sisters-
chair
Oh my god!
and force you to light
I'm gonna call my sisters after this. I bet none of us have ever lit a firework. We just didn't do that when
I
we
don't
were
even know
younger.
how to respond to that.
We did not do that. I don't know.
It's a miracle I have fingers. Actually, I've cut these fingers off.
Yes.
These have been sewn back on.
Yes. And I
It wasn't a firecracker though.
No.
They can't sew that
I
back
also
on.
remember your barbecue pit blowing
Oh,
up, and
my
you
gosh.
yeah. Like
And do you
those
know
are
what
two
day
of
that
your-
happened?
That was it 4th
4th
of
of
July?
July.
I thought it was.
Several years. Sierra
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
3.
she was little.
Yeah,
I
she
remember
was
that
little, 'cause I was holding
Those
her.
two incidents stand out to me, like when your fingers and then like the fire.
Wow.
Because that was a bad one. I remember.
Well, we won't get
We're all
too
over the place
excited. Yeah, we
today.
are.
We're all over the
Let's
place
cut
today.
it. We're done. People
All
are
right.
tired of listening to us.
Yeah.
We'll try to be more productive next week.
We had some good tips though. We had some good tips.
Oh, next.
How to get a baseball down and packing and selling your stuff.
Yeah. And that somewhere out there on YouTube is a picture of you barefoot in like little Daisy Duke shorts, and I'm sure a really tight tube top going up a fence.
You picture in your mind how you went through that. Is not how that happened.
and and you probably climbed down head first
Oh
like
my
a spider
God.
monkey.
That's creepy. It's creepy. I was at my daughter's softball game. I had
Oh
on
my
socks
gosh.
and Nike slides. Kicked off the slides. And
Oh my gosh. Well, good for you. I am not the least bit surprised.
Right.
All right, everybody. That is this week's episode. We will catch you again next week. Look, if you're thinking of buying or selling a home, you need a loan. You're not alone. You can call Donna Mitchell or me or any of the agents here at Shanks Realty Group. We have, not including myself, we have 6 agents here, and we are hiring. So if you're thinking about a move in your career or a move in your real estate career, think of Shanks Realty Group. We'd love to talk to you. Peace out. Have a great week.